All right. I honestly think part of the reason why you are seeing people wanting more kind of like rawer content right now, more like rawer videos right now, is because I think we're getting to a place. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, it's just because of AI," and people, and that it does play a part of it too. It's one of the reasons why I think people want the less polish. But I also think it's beyond AI. I think for the last 5 to 10 years, we have been so hyper fixated on this kind of polish, perfect morality thing. Some people call it woke culture. Some people call it whatever you want to call it, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, where it's like people feel like, especially if you're a teenager or a young person, people feel like they have to show up online and they have to be so perfect. And I don't mean just like physical appearance. I mean like their ideas, like the things that they think about. You know, I think people are getting tired of this era where you have to make sure you have never said anything problematic in your life. And if you said something crazy 10 years ago, you must be a terrible person now. Or like, oh, you don't have what are your thoughts on whatever crisis is going on in the world? And if you don't have like the most perfect take on whatever crisis is happening, then you must be stupid, or you don't care, or you're a bad person. And I think people are just so exhausted of trying to live up to expectations that literally no one can live up to, including the people who set the expectations, including those people. Those people can't live up to it either. That's why they're projecting. What do you mean you don't have the right take on blah, blah, blah? What do you mean you listen to so-and-so artists? I'm not saying that people are being like, I'm not saying let's be pro-hatred or pro-racist or I'm not saying anything like that. But I am saying let's be pro-human, which meaning that we're going to be fucking flawed. You're going to say crazy things. You have said crazy things. You have done crazy things, or you will. I've done it. You know, I've done cringe things. Like, I don't know. I think people are just craving imperfect in a world that there seems to be no escape with trying to demand you to be perfect. You know, we're living in a time where people just feel so stressed out and so much pressure to be this online or to be this offline. And it's just like, damn, I have nowhere to go where I can just kind of be stupid or I can kind of fuck up, and that's okay. You know? So I think we're going to see the rise of more people just being like, you know what? I'm just going to post these things I want to. How about that? I'm not, and it's just about being authentic. And being authentic does not mean, to me, being authentic, being raw does not mean having a fancy camera or not having a fancy camera. It's not about you wearing makeup or not wearing makeup. It's not about any of that. It's about you genuinely being you and genuinely using the tools you have to express yourself. You know, some people like to dress over the top. If that's genuinely who you are, then be that. Fuck people. But if you're like, you know what, fuck it, I just like wearing a fucking robe around the house in my slippers, which is what I love to do, then be that. Like, who gives a shit? Like, honestly, I just think people, especially a lot of younger people, have way too much fucking pressure on them to like be these things that nobody can be. No one is going to always have the perfect thing to say. And everyone's not going to be an expert on every fucking social issue in the world. I'm so sorry to tell you that. Everyone's not going to. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people will be uncomfortable with you. Sometimes people will not know how to approach you. Sometimes people don't understand you because of their own background, their own different cultures, whatever. Like, it doesn't mean that, you know, you must be a hateful person. You must be a bigot. You must be a whatever ism or ist or whatever. Like, that's not, no, guys, no. So, I don't know, be imperfect. Like, you already are imperfect. Continue to do that and continue to learn, you know, genuinely try. Doesn't mean like you don't try to be a better person. There's this idea that you should punish yourself, that if you are not this like philosophical, super enlightened person who has this I'm one with the wind kind of personality, then that means that you're like fuck all that. Like, you're learning, especially if you're like 19, 20, 21, whatever. Like, bro, you're fucking learning right now. That's okay. You're gonna fuck up. That's fine. If you're older, there's people in their 60s, 70s who still fuck up. It is part of the human experience. So I think that is the reason why you are seeing people gravitate to like this kind of, you know, no editing kind of thing, long as it's being genuine. is because people are getting so tired of, damn, I have to be overly polished in real life and online. Is there any point where I can just kind of be? So I think that's what you're seeing. I'm going to end this video because I'm running late for work. Bye.